I read a post yesterday by an artist over on Threads talking about how they were forced to do an AI project by one of the big five publishers of books. Now, if you haven't heard of the big five publishers, they are Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, Simon & Schuster, Hachette, and Macmillan. And I want to talk about it because I kind of figured out who she was talking about because she's not really good at covering her own tracks. So let's go over to her threads. It says Lilly Penhall. She has a novel and she also has some book on Patreon. But I want to talk about this post here. It has all these replies. It says here, I just finished designing an AI book cover for the big five publisher I work for. This is their first AI designated cover, and it is also my first AI design cover. No, I don't want to use AI to design covers, but this is part of my job, and I do enjoy being the only person on my team in the unique position of having the right level of design skills, artistic talent, and technical knowledge to accomplish this. This post is not pro or anti-AI. I beg to differ because she's lifting herself up, kind of bragging that she's able to do this. I would love to see the cover to judge her skill. And let's go through her replies here. It says, it's much more labor intensive than people realize. You can't just give it a prompt and it spits out the perfect thing the first time, or a second time, or a 50th, 100th time. That's not how Gen AI works. I had to give it a detailed, oh my God, we're skipping that because she's doing that AI bro thing. See, I didn't just type in a prompt. I made an art piece. Once I chose a design, well, the thing is that there was one thing. Now, I'm not defending shed diversity here, but he had one thing that he said that was right when he talks about AI images. If you're already an artist, you can see the potential in an AI image for it to be more, right? So this is what I'm talking about for her. This is what she had to do. So she generated probably 500 images, found one that she liked, and then she decided to work on that one. So it says here, you know what, actually, you guys can watch me draw since once they chose the design, making any kind of adjustments to it's almost impossible with the current technology, or at least what we are able to license, which they are likely using Adobe Firefly, and I'll get back to that later. You have to know how to word the prompt very precisely to get it to do what you want. Oh my God, I can't even hear people talk like this. Okay, I'm skipping that because she's fawning over it. We could only license certain Gen AI engines, but they produce the worst results. To get around this, I could take an image someone generated in a better Gen AI image and regenerate it into the one we could use. I would produce excellent results, but then I would have to ask it to regen without the text. This is why, for our book covers, all text has to be separate, editable, and in a licensed font. We can't have the text embedded in the image unless it's something handwritten or part of the art. This also prevents the sloppy text that sometimes comes with lower quality Gen AI. And for whatever reason, it only regenerates an image exactly when you ask it to remove text. The more you ask it to change in your image, the worse it gets. The image quality goes down, the obedience of the machine, oh my God, you're fawning. Okay, so here she goes. I spent hours in Photoshop doing detailed adjustments. The estimate that I have spent at least 25 hours so far on that cover at $27 an hour. Yes, highway robbery for a designer in California. That means they have paid me about $675 pre-tax. In comparison, an illustrator might have charged upwards of $2,000 for this detailed of a cover design. Can we pause right there? 100% you can get a book cover that is not $2,000. 100%. I don't know where you can definitely find somebody who can design what you want for the price you're willing to pay. You said it was highway robbery. Highway robbery to pay you that, but you accepted it. I don't know why you accepted it. It says on your LinkedIn, which I have found it, that you're a freelance. So they ask you to do the work and you took the work. Anyway, then it says after spending all that time, energy, and eyesight to create a cover that everyone loved and agreed on, the person who generated the winning idea realized it looked too similar to the cover of a best-selling book by a world-famous author, and the execs asked me to change it again. And there's loads of comments here, loads. Let's just roll over some of them. The fact that the big five publishers is using AI for a book cover is horrific. And wow, what a shock that AI produced a cover that looks something someone else has. You know, all it does is steal from others, right? This is pro AI though. You agreed to do it, despite it being a tool built on abuse, exploitation, and theft. This post is pro AI. pro or not, you just admitted to stealing someone's work for your own purposes. If it's so labor intensive, why are we not just hiring humans? That's what I kept telling him. I hope you are not with the big five press that I am working for, because I do not in any way condone the use of AI on my book covers. I feel like you trolled once before. Ain't no way you work for a big five publisher. I call bullshit. Oh, I gotta see. I want to see these messages here. Oh, I can't. I hate threads. Oh, I got it now. It says, the last time she came up on my feed was because she made a post saying that she wrote a romantasy novel without ever reading anything in that genre or something along the lines. I know that this lady is a mess, and using AI just is the cherry on top of the cake. I feel like you trolled once before is one of the best openers I've ever seen. Good for you. You little trolleys don't pay my bills. Yeah, okay. We have both absolutely trolled her before. She wrote the actually smart romantasy book despite having never read romantasy. Yeah, no, this post is just fake pro AI rage bait. So there is this one little thing right here. Oh, you poor thing, you must be so exhausted from stealing other people's work. And she replies, as if it's for my own book and not for an employer who signs my checks. And this person goes, I know you're trying to present this as objective and impersonal take on the whole AI situation, but your individual responses to critiques say otherwise. Here's a comment down here that says, I appreciate the cost breakdown. I can't imagine that the cost wouldn't go up to at least $2,000 if we weren't in a world of teaser rates and the AI company actually had to turn a profit. So while I was looking around, I was like, I got to figure out which one she works at, because she was being kind of weird about it. She wasn't saying who she was that she worked for. And I was like, no, we definitely got to figure out who that is. Because I figured if I'm going to find her, I'm going to have to look up who she works for. And the best way to do that is probably LinkedIn, or to find out like how she's associated to whom. So she has her own companies and she had her own books. So I looked up the copyright records of various things, and I'm not going to say exactly how I figured it out, but just know that I figured it out. I found her real name. I found her LinkedIn. And then when I looked over her LinkedIn, it said that she had been working as a freelancer since 2009. And okay, so let me put this in perspective, because she says that she's been working as a freelancer since 2009. She's only been contracted to the Big Five, and it's not even the Big Five. She states on her website that she's worked for Hay House. Now, Hay House is in San Diego, and so is she, and this is all public information. She puts straight up there that she lives in San Diego. Okay, just like I say I'm from Cleveland, she says she's from San Diego. And it just kind of makes sense. And Hay House is owned by Penguin Random House. So she is likely doing a book cover for Penguin Random House, or she's doing a book cover for Hay House. And I believe it's probably Hay House because they're in the same place. And they just probably pick her because they know her. Now, this is what I think. This is the truth of what I believe happened. I believe that she offers two services to authors. One is she makes it herself. So she clearly is using AI, right? She's clearly using it, and she's been saying that she's using it, but she's talking about AI in a way that is like, the thing is, okay, I'm familiar with AI, but she's talking about it in a way that AI bros use AI. Do you know how much time I spent prompting? Do you know how much time I spent doing this or that? So, okay. I don't know how to say this because I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Because the way that she talks about it like someone who is supportive of it. Because I also found this post here too. It says, for those of you wondering, I did a deep dive. She works for Hay House, which is owned by Penguin Random House. So Penguin uses AI for book covers, confirmed. Now, isn't that funny? Because right now, Penguin is about to sue OpenAI for a ChatGPT version of a German children's book. Why would they do that? I feel like if you're trying to be like anti-AI, why are you complaining about this but using AI in your works? Come on. Now the thing is this puts Lilly into question, because I don't know if there's any authors hanging out in my audience, but I don't know what it is. She said she wrote this novel, but she's never read any romantasy novel, but she finished it in a month. Is that possible? I feel like, oh man, a part of me wants to go look at her stuff on Patreon and see what the writing is like. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay to read that because I feel like there's a lot of weirdness about this woman. So based on what I've seen, she started doing visual design. I don't know, like she's been doing it since 2009. That is not what she went to school for. She went to school for creative writing. So she doesn't have a background in design. So I would love to see what covers she's designed to make me believe that she's any good. All right, so after some searching, I found that she did some of them, and we're going to look at some of them because, well, it is what it is, I guess. But her attempt at design started because her mother wanted her to design her a cover. All right, so let's look at some of these covers because apparently she did all of them. Well, there's this one. I wish I could see more. Maybe I could shop this series and it'll let me look. My goodness, so small. All right, there we go. The house that Alice built. Okay, it's very like minimally. And here's another one, very minimalist. Exactly what I would expect from this genre. Here's another one she designed, which it feels the text is bad to read. This is bad text. Like if you just hear me out. If you're at your computer, sit back a little bit and like close your eyes, like squint a little bit. You almost can't read what the text is. I don't think this is a great cover. Okay, I kind of see what's going on here. So, sorry, I had to stop recording and then re-record. So, what I'm finding out is that she is not an illustrator. What she does is she makes composites, and I'm not saying that's bad, but I am curious as to why they would cost so much, because based off of, okay, this is what I'm basing this off of, all right? Just hear me out. Oh, so because I saw this and I was like, okay, well, since she didn't draw it, what did she do? Okay, so she put the text on it, and then she did this. So she didn't draw this. So how did she get this? Where's this from? Bruh, I just went and I put that and I did a visual search, and this is like clip art. It's just clip art from Pixabay, and I don't even know how much she charged for that. I don't even know. So she can't do illustrations. She's not an illustrator, okay? She's not an illustrator. And I'm not saying what she's doing is bad. I'm saying she finds images that she needs, probably off Pixabay or some free resource, and then she composites it together and she makes the cover. That's how she does. Now, it makes sense that someone like her would use AI, and I do not believe for even a second that she was forced into it. I believe it's a choice, and she offers it for a lower price point. Because I have no idea I don't know, there's something that sounds just weird about it. There's just something wrong about what she is saying. Lilly, I don't know, man, I'm getting the liar vibes. I don't know why. Yeah, she's always making she's using the AI bro tactics to defend AI. Like, someone's like, the boundary is to never use it as part of your process, no matter how attenuated. I'm sorry. I don't know if I said that right. And her reply is, no Google, spelling check, or grammar. And everybody knows we are talking about generative AI, but she wants to do that misdirection bullshit where she goes, oh, come the fuck on, you absolutely understand that we are talking about AI. We're talking about LLMs, not spell check. And I know that I'm not making an accusation. I'm not making a formal accusation or anything. I just believe that maybe she wrote that fantasy novel with AI because of the way that she presents herself online. And I'm not saying like go and harass her or do anything. Don't do any of that. Don't bother her or because she could very well have written it herself. But I don't know, man. I'm just getting this weird vibe that she's weird. Like, she made here, let me show you. Do you think that researching a novel with AI as a writing assistant is the same thing as using AI to write a novel? I'm curious where we draw the line. Examples of researching with AI include asking a list of resources for writing, asking for names to choose from for a character, asking for information about a character's occupation. As a writing coach, I think there needs to be clear parameters of what constitutes as using AI to write. This is not an argument for or against the use of AI, which she keeps saying that, but she is coming across in a way that is it feels like to me that she's looking for a way to prove that she's using it so she can say that she used it for this or that, right? When a major author is getting canceled for using AI to write, it's important to know what that means. Or she's just clout farming. I mean, it could be that too, just clout farming. So someone down here says, AI as a research assistant is such a mixed bag that you're better off using Wikipedia at this point. The tech isn't advanced enough for that. I don't consider using AI to write for you, though. Isn't Wikipedia user-generated information with linked sources? How is that different? See, the thing is, she's like, how is that different from using ChatGPT and having them do it? The thing is that, like, I have asked for things before and have seen, like, ChatGPT or whatever have 100% misled me. And I believe everyone has figured that out at this point, that even if you ask it for resources and you say, give me the links, you have to click on every link. It is easier if you're researching something just to do the research on your own through Google. And right here it says, like, for another example, it says this person is probably using AI or whatever. But it says it lies less frequently. It's a quick way to summarize pages of Google's responses. It will provide references if you ask. Not always real, so buyer beware. But someone mentioned in the comments that you will not get all those little tidbits that lead to research rabbit holes and sidebars that can add life to your writing. The line is leave it the fuck alone. Yes, that's 100% cheating, obviously. And she has one of these posts on her thing that's just coming across weird. It says, here, I'll open it because it's kind of funny. Divine intelligence. We have access to the vast, unending source of information using only our brains. Here's how I use source energy in my work and business. My coaching sessions begin with grounding and accessing source. We call on creative power to tell us the messages that the world needs to hear. We also call on spirit guides, and oh my god, this is so long. But apparently she had this in there, so I don't know, man. No, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just giving my thoughts. And if you are into my thoughts, feel free to like and subscribe and hype the video. Also, what do you guys think of the big five using AI? I know that Hotchit doesn't, and I know some of the other ones don't. Like, a lot of them specifically state that they don't and will not. But from what I'm seeing, it's like Penguin House and Hay House are kind of like just okay with it. I don't know, man. It's sketchy, and I think that this person's a little bit sketch herself. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one, guys.